Welcome back to Table for One, the series for solo cooks who want to make their meals a little bit extra special. I'm back with another weeknight dinner that you can make in 15 minutes. It is completely delicious, really fresh but really satisfying, and uses an ingredient that you maybe wouldn't expect a professional chef to use. So these are my hot honey chicken tender tacos. I've made some chicken tender tacos before with a gochujang mayonnaise, and they are completely delicious. You can find that recipe on my website. But for this one, I'm going for hot honey chicken tenders. And then I'm gonna be making a crispy, zingy green slaw with cabbage, lime, chili, avocado, and coriander. This recipe is also a really great way to highlight how to cook efficiently, because there's kind of no point prepping all of your ingredients to start with. You might as well get something cooking and then carry on with your prep. So I'll talk you through that. But first, let's talk about chicken tenders. I feel like you wouldn't maybe expect me to be using chicken tenders, but I really think that this is a case of quality, and you can get some really, really lovely quality chicken. My suggestions would be buy British, if you are British. If you live here, buy British chicken. That's number one. My second tip would be to buy breaded chicken goujons rather than battered. So battered chicken will give you more of a chicken nugget vibe, which isn't quite what we're going for here. Whereas a breaded chicken just adds a real crunchy texture without that kind of greasy taste as well. So I've just got 2 chicken tenders here. I'm gonna pop those into cook while we prep our slaw. Okay, so the chicken tenders are cooking. We're gonna add the hot honey and the flavour later, but we're gonna make our slaw first. So make some room on my chopping board, and we're gonna start with the white cabbage. So you just wanna start by thinly slicing your cabbage for the coleslaw. You could use a mandolin if you have one. I don't have a mandolin, but I'm fairly confident with my knife skills, so I'm hoping I'll be able to get a nice thin shred. Then we're gonna add our shredded cabbage to a bowl. Chef's tip, when you're making something like a salad or a slaw, doing it in a metal bowl just makes you feel way more fancy. I think it's the sound of the cabbage tossing in the bowl that just sounds, it just makes you feel more professional, okay? Then I'm just going to chop the rest of my ingredients. So I have fresh coriander, cilantro, I've got some green chili, and avocado, which I'm going to dice up rather than slice up. What you get here then is a really gorgeous green slaw, so it just kind of contrasts really nicely with the hot honey chicken, and it looks really beautiful. But also you have a really great mix of crunch from the cabbage, you've got spice from the chili, herbaceous freshness from the coriander, creaminess from avocado, and acidity from lime. So it just makes a really, really gorgeous slaw. So that is all the chopping done. That's the hardest thing you're gonna have to do. Next up, you're gonna add mayonnaise, which adds creaminess to the slaw and binds everything together. Sometimes I use yogurt, Greek yogurt, or a mixture of mayonnaise and yogurt, but I'm just going for mayonnaise because I really want the creaminess. And then the other thing I'm gonna add is a little pinch of salt. I would also usually add something sweet to balance with the acidity of either the citrus or the vinegar that you add to a coleslaw, but in this case I'm not going to, because I want it to be slightly more acidic to balance with the hot honey. So the hot honey chicken tenders will actually bring the sweetness, meaning we don't need to add it to the slaw itself. But now we just need to toss it all together. Okay, coleslaw is done. The final element of our tacos is the tacos themselves. My personal preference is a flour taco, but if you're gluten-free, then a corn tortilla or a corn taco is a really great option. I just slightly prefer the texture of a flour tortilla. They're a little bit softer, which is what I like. I have a gas hob, so I am just going to lightly toast these over the flame to char them slightly, but mainly actually to soften them. If you don't have a gas hob, you can just pop them in the microwave. And would you believe it, even though we're filming, the chicken tenders are actually cooked, and we did this in real time, which is very impressive. Let's get them out. They are done, they are crispy, and now it's time to add the hot honey. So you can actually buy hot honey, which is sort of pre-combined honey with something spicy, whether that's chili flakes or hot sauce. I personally just like to have both ingredients on hand and kind of make my own because it's just slightly more versatile that way, but you do you. I've got this really gorgeous shatter hot sauce from a brand called Phil. This was actually an early sample that I got, and I can confirm it is completely divine. Shatter is actually a Palestinian chili condiment, and Phil do a number of different shatter products. One of my favorites is the shatter jam. This is their new hot sauce. It's spicy, but it also has a slightly fruity flavor, which I love. So I'm literally just going to pour the honey and the hot sauce over the chicken tenders. And actually, a really good thing about keeping them separate as opposed to buying hot honey is that you can alter the spice levels to your preferences. And then all we have to do is toss it together and make sure it's well combined, all covered in the honey and the hot sauce. Careful not to splash yourself. And we are done. All that's left to do is assemble our tacos. Starting with the taco itself, I'm going to spoon over a dollop of the coleslaw, and then I'm going to lay over the gorgeously crispy chicken tender over the top. And that is my hot honey chicken tender tacos done. This is kind of one of my dream meals. It just looks so satisfying, but still really, really fresh in flavor, which is exactly what I like. You can choose to chop up the chicken if you want, but actually I think it gets a little bit messier that way, so I like to keep it all whole. Time to eat. The lime, the citrusiness of the slaw with the sweetness and the crispness of the chicken is delicious. It's just the perfect pairing, and there's no nice way to eat a taco. It's always going to be slightly inelegant, but it's totally worth it because it's so tasty. Oh, vinegar. We also need to add vinegar. Oh no, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. It's about to get on the camera.
Signalling planes.
Come on. Toss a chicken tender somewhere it shouldn't be. Time to dig in. I think I need to be left alone to enjoy these now. Cut.